Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2, Storm of Zehir. Last episode, we finally left the jungles of the land we were in and made our way towards Crossroad Keep. The portal we took, for some reason, sent us to a crypt. I have no idea why. And now, well, we've walked our way towards Crossroad Keep. Passed by a couple towns on the way as well, including some town called Leylon, and we actually passed by Highcliff, which was surprisingly close. Now, let's go into Crossroad Keep and see what's inside. Before you lies Crossroad Keep, once the bastion of the legendary Knight Captain. Enter the courtyard. Come on. Well, we're here. There's a gate guard here. Ah, this is familiar. That just leads to the overland map. I guess we can't explore outside. Kelgar Iron Fist! I assure you, Master Kelgar, that my offer is genuine. I am not one to be impressed by a lot of fancy talk. What makes you different from the last pair that passed through here? I possess the necessary gold, if that is what you're asking. I trust this sum will be enough to purchase the buildings I need. Aye, more than enough. Seems like that kind of coin could go a lot further in other places, though, like Waterdeep or Symbia. That may be so, Master Kelgar, but the opportunities here are too promising to pass up. I have a more than capable staff, and with the aid of those in my employ, I expect the return on my investment to be very great indeed. I don't know, lass. Lady Sassani, the lands around the keep might be too rough for a bunch of caravan guards to handle, you know. Oh, jeez, that taunt. It shouldn't be a problem. Boldly spoken, lad. I almost feel bad for anything that tries to tangle with you. You have yourself a deal, Lady Sassani. The buildings are yours now, so make the most of them if you can. Especially since I have to make a report to Nasher about it. Ugh. You're late. What happened? The portal malfunctioned. There was a slight detour. I see. Come, let's finish our conversation inside our new headquarters. Watch out for loose rubble. It's easy enough to trip and fall in the dark. I must say, this place has certainly... well, it's changed a little. It's almost like it's still under construction. The tower's not there. It must have fallen or something. The inn's there. We still have these buildings. Ooh, I do hope we can find, okay, there's the headquarters. That's a locked building. I wonder if we'll find Deacon. This banner bears the motto, Adventure or Bust. Interesting. This must be where we're supposed to go, as she walked off this way. Yep, there's Sassani. And we have a portal that goes back. Okay, good to know. Not bad. Not bad. Plenty of wealth around here. Okay.
This operation is not as far along as I would have hoped. But no matter. Like any challenge, it can be overcome with the right methods. But first and foremost, there is the more important matter of my missing associates to attend to first. I wish you to travel north to Neverwinter City and meet with representatives of the Circle of Friends, the Forgotten Lords, or the Fated Winds.
Hey, I remember those three names. We could have chosen one of them to help out here in in the keep. So, okay.
They are the three most prominent merchant factions in this region, and it is very likely that at least one of them had dealings with my associates. Find out what they know, and...
This is a pointless exercise. We should not be wasting time or resources investigating the fate of these missing associates. While we fret, there are many business opportunities here that we should...
I am not a fool, Nasirin, nor have I become one since we left Samarak. I am well aware of the opportunities, and do not plan to neglect them. In addition to this search, I also need you to establish a trading post in one of the towns adjacent to the keep. Highcliff, Thundertree, Phandalin, Leylon, or Neverwinter itself. This will aid us in restoring the income that has been lost in our transfer from Samargol, and is our first step.
Huh.
Here are 100 trade bars with which to purchase any resources you may need to set up the initial trading post.
Okay, good to know. We may go to Highcliff since it's nearby. What do you think happened to your associates?
I do not know, but that's what I want you to find out. They have always been reliable allies, and they've always finished what they started.
I gotta say, this place is impressive.
Yes, and that only heightens my suspicion that something unfortunate befell my associates. To simply abandon this place makes no sense. Will you ever be able to return to Samarak?
If we are successful here on the Sword Coast, then yes, I believe so. I find that wealth tends to gloss over any perceived shortcomings, and the Samargol officials remain pleasantly susceptible to bribes.
I got some questions about trading.
What would you like to know?
Let's see. What happens if I run out of trade bars?
As an employee of this company, you are entitled to a monthly stipend of trade bars. The size of the stipend, however, will depend on how well the company is doing.
Alright, that's good to know. Got another
What would you
question.
like to know?
What do I do with trade bars once I have them?
In addition to using them to buy and sell goods, you may
Okay,
in
we already
addition
know
to
about
this, the trade bars you turn in will be used to fund projects outside the scope of the business, such as upgrading our operation here in the keep.
Okay, that's something we need to do, so we will need to trade them in.
What would you like to know?
What's the advantage of establishing trade posts in other towns?
Currently, any business with the town is handled through an intermediary. We trade with the local merchants, who in turn trade with the town's inhabitants. A trading post will allow us to distribute goods directly to the citizenry. It reduces the costs of dealing with the middlemen, and increases our influence in the region.
Doesn't that upset the local merchants?
Of course, but this is business. Competition is to be expected. What would you like to know? Currently,
Out
a
of
trading post
curiosity-
will allow us to
Out of
distribute
curiosity,
goods
why
directly
haven't
to the
trading posts
citizenry.
been set up
It
previously?
reduces the likely because of the associated costs, but most of all because the region itself is unstable. The post relies on the ability of the company to get its goods to and from the town with a reasonable degree of efficiency. Others have failed to do so. We shall not. What would you like to know?
Alright.
So, how do I establish other trading posts?
Simply visit one of the other towns or cities in this region, and speak with the local government. There will most likely be a fee involved. What would you like to know?
And do you really need me to run around playing merchant? I mean, don't get me wrong, that's what I kinda am. Alan Strata here has done some nice merchanting out in the plain air. Decided to expand out here, but really, why do you need me to do it?
Since you are more capable than most, any assistance would be greatly appreciated, but not required. You have proved yourself valuable, and my coin is still good.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. Farewell.
You can now construct trading posts at the various cities and towns along the Sword Coast. Each town will have its own requirements to construct a trading post. Visit the various towns to discover their requirements. Building a trading post will give you access to the following. Caravans. You may construct a caravan between any two locations which both contain trading posts. A caravan will travel between the two locations that it visits, generating profit for your merchant company each time it reaches a location. You can return to Crossroad Keep to collect this income at any time. Shipping. You can ship goods from your cargo back to Crossroad Keep at a trading post, freeing up cargo space and while saving that cargo. Shops. Each trading post is manned by a trader who will sell you useful goods. Additionally, many towns will send a special merchant to Crossroad Keep when you construct a trading post in their town. Trading posts also passively increase your merchant company's daily income and unlock other gameplay benefits. Explore and discover them for yourself. Okay, this is going to be very
I ask you
interesting.
to follow me now.
We are definitely going to need to explore a bit. And our cargo has expanded to 15. Good. Okay.
I trust everything goes well.
Now that you're on the Sword Coast, what are your plans?
Despite the setbacks in Samarak, there is a great deal of opportunity here on the Sword Coast. The economy here wavers on the verge of ruin, and it will take an enterprising merchant to repair it.
Repair it?
Perhaps it is different here in the north. But a stable economy is in the best interests of everyone. Short-sighted profiteering will only cause it to crumble further, and I have my eyes set upon longer-term goals.
Okay, fair enough. I imagine these... Oh, we have some workbenches here if we want to do some crafting. Okay, so this is where I'm going to come if I want to do crafting. And there's a bed. I guess that's where we can rest. An armoire?
It was folly to come here. Time shall prove me right.
I'm sure Sassani knows what she's doing. Oh, you're so certain. Running off without even an attempt to appeal to the council, and leaving the business in the hands of that simpering Major Domo when Sassani's presence was the only thing keeping our competitors at bay. And let us not forget this keep's storied history, ruined not once, but twice. I disliked the idea of founding an operation here to begin with, but to have actually moved here, to abandon Samargol for this pitiful keep, is insanity. That this keep stood against a massive undead army doesn't impress you? If another massive undead army arrives, I might be happy of their presence, because it means something about this keep might serve as designed. In terms of serving as a thriving mercantile hub, this wreck's ability to keep out writhing hordes of zombies is the least of my concerns, thank you. And what of Sassani's allies? Your employers? You're not worried about them? Their absence is unusual, yes, but did we receive any urgent missives? Any cries for help? No, we did not. They will most likely return, no doubt having been distracted by a lucrative opportunity, and wonder why we are here when our rivals are picking apart our operation in Samargol. So you have no confidence in OC's skills, then? Capable enough as a bookkeeper and manager of ledgers, certainly. I shall give him that. But as a leader of Samargol's largest merchant organization, it is blood in the water, and the sharks will reach him soon enough. I might feel sorry for him if the situation did not infuriate me so. The captain said that he would have arrested us. What was she supposed to do? The captain is a toothless dog that only imagines it can bite. Sassani is not without allies within the council. She could have contacted them first, or relocated temporarily to Rassatan, as I suggested, not snuck off to this rubble heap and wait for our work to be undone. Samargol is not abandoned. It might as well be. Do you really imagine OC's presence will be enough to keep our operation running? It was Sassani's influence that kept her rivals from behaving foolishly, but with her away, it will not be long at all for them to undo all our hard work. The keep isn't in that bad a shape. Oh? I wasn't aware that ruined walls and yards full of weeds were a sign of prosperity here in the north. My mistake. Yeah, I'm disappointed. What happened? Very ill.
Welcome to Crossroad Keep, friend. With Lady Sassani here, our interests can start moving forward again. As our company grows, we can further upgrade our operation here at the Keep.
What happened here? It's a long story. Or, well, it's a short story that went on for a long time. A while back, I was hired by the two merchants that bought this place, Ilfos and Kizu, to act as the major domo for their trading company. Said they were going to change the Sword Coast. You didn't think anything was strange about them? Well, no. I admit, when they offered the petition, I did sort of jump at the chance. These days it doesn't matter if you graduate at the top of your class from a prestigious scribes college, no. They just care if you can use magic to set things on fire. Anyway, sorry about that. Soon after I got here, I handled a few shipments, but we received word that a pair of huge shipments were on their way. Kizu and Ilfos both seemed very excited. I think they were disappointed at how slow things were going, too. You don't think two large shipments suddenly appearing was mysterious? A little, but they didn't really tell me much about it, and I wasn't inclined to investigate. I was just happy to have something to do, to be honest. The shipments arrived on time, and Ilfos insisted on taking one of them to Neverwinter City himself. A few days later, Kizu vanished with the other shipment, but I've heard nothing from them since. I've been doing my best to keep this place in order, but that's really all I've had to do. Interesting. Alright, can we talk about something else?
Tell me about these upgrades again.
Well, we have a Cleric of Joaquin with no shrine, a portal which only goes to Samarak, and poorly equipped grey cloaks watching our roads. We're also but one of many merchants. I'd say there are plenty of good places to start.
Tell me more about this cleric of Joaquin.
Her name is Daijan. I sort of promised to fund the construction of a shrine for her if she bestowed us with Joaquin's blessing. We've had a few difficulties holding up our end of the bargain.
What do I need to do with the portal?
It would be nice if it could be used to go to other places in this region of the Sword Coast, but Aureus, he's the gnome that maintains it, assured me that it would be quite expensive to alter the portal's magic. Right now, sadly, and we don't have the resources to spare.
I heard that the Knight Captain already upgraded the equipment of the Grey Cloaks. Immensely, in fact.
Well, perhaps that's true, but the majority of them still use cheap, low-quality weapons and armor.
Oh, come on! Really?
I have a connection in Neverwinter who's willing to get us a discount on weapons and armor made by master smiths, but he wants the entire payment up front. How does buying the Grey Cloaks' weapons and armor help us? Well, it won't make them our own private army. They still serve Neverwinter after all, but it should help keep the roads safer for our caravans.
Yeah, that's kind of a point there. We need our caravans safe if we want to get money. No safe roads means no money from caravans. Plenty of money for the robbers, though, so unless you want to kill every single robber between here and Waterdeep, then I'm afraid we need to make sure the guards are safe. You got that, Alice? How do we get ourselves to stand out from other merchants?
If we had the resources, we could hire a group of people to do nothing but tell other people about how great we are, how we offer the highest quality goods in the Sword Coast, things like that. People hear that enough, and I'm sure they'll want to deal with us over our competitors.
Okay.
Here's your share of the income our company has brought in recently. Enjoy!
Oh, okay, sure.
You can use these trade bars for trading purposes, exchange them for gold, or reinvest in the company.
What will reinvesting in the company do?
With times as difficult as they are, most of our profits are being eaten up by operating costs, making growth difficult. By investing in the company, we'll eventually have the resources for upgrades which can help the company prosper. However, I believe Lady Sassani needs you to establish a trading post with another city before she'll allow you to donate any trade bars to the company or exchange them for gold.
And what's the status of the company?
Outside of Crossroad Keep, we haven't established any permanent trading posts, so our influence is minimal.
How many bars do I need to donate before we can build another upgrade?
You'll need to donate 500 more trade bars before we have the capacity to build another upgrade.
Alright, that's something we can keep in mind. 100 bars? Yeah, we can work on that.
Adventurer's Guide. Hey! Volothamp! And Inshula is here as well.
It is well we traveled here.
There's prey to hunt I've never seen before.
Okay. And Volothamp, good to see you again.
Greetings, my friends. You are a welcome sight. I'm glad you made it here in one piece. Quite the invention, that gnomish portal, isn't it? Marvelous.
Let's see. Marvelous like a kick in the chest, sure. Why are you hanging out in here?
Well, it's quite remarkable, really. My time around this merchant company has opened my eyes. I had never before imagined the life of the merchant was so interesting. And I would wager that the average reader had never thought so either. Thus, I'm taking on the epic task of writing 2 books at once. One shall be the continuation of the areas of the realms, so that you can continue telling me of interesting places you visited and amazing things you see. But the second and more pressing task is a new book on Toril's brave merchants, a triptych of life on the road. Thus, if you could find and interview a number of merchants for me, let's see, I think 6 is a good starting number, that should provide some excellent fodder for my new work. But in the meantime, is there anything else I can help you with?
I've explored some interesting places you'll be interested to hear in hearing about.
Wonderful! I can always use more material for my book. Did your adventures take you around the Sword Coast, or the distant lands of Samarak?
The Sword Coast.
Wonderful! Tell me everything. Omit no detail.
I came across a crypt with a very irate necromancer and a good deal of skeletons.
Undead. Loathsome. But if they're cleared out, perhaps there might be some value to someone in exploring their deeper reaches.
And that is all. Okay, so, and we have the Adventurer's Guide, which, yeah, we don't need to reread that. We've already gone through it. Aureus, someone here.
Ah, you must be the one Sassani mentioned. I'm Aureus Glowgears. Aureus will do nicely, though. I've been contracted to maintain this end of the teleportation portal.
You work for Sassani? No, I work for Lantern. Contract work, in this case, helping run the portal between the Sword Coast and Samarak. Glad I'm on the Samarak end. I hear they've got bugs there the size of... Glad I'm not on the Samarak end. I hear they've got bugs there the size of cats. And robotic bugs the size of Darshans. Do you really have a lot to do here? Not particularly. I offered my services to Lord Iron Fist, but he seemed horrified at the idea. Bad experience with gnomes, I'm guessing. Can you teleport me somewhere? If by somewhere you mean the portal in Samarak, then sure. The standard Lanternese transport fee of 2,000 gold applies. I didn't pay any transport fee to come here. Well, coming here from Samarak is a separate matter and handled under a different contract. Sorry, I don't make the rules or set the prices, I just make the portal work. Okay, well, we're not going back there anytime soon. I mean, we could certainly afford it, but we don't need to. Alright, we got a couple rooms here. A bed for free resting, I think. An armoire with some things. Oh, we left a few things in an armoire there! Yeah, we could rest here. Ah, dang. Some of the stuff we had. Oh, well. And there's for all the crafting, and there's a room there. Okay. Well, this has been actually quite interesting. And while I'd love, really absolutely love to further explore, whatever it's called, further explore Crossroad Keep, I think here is where we should actually pause for the day. Why do I feel like someone's missing? Oh, there you are. This is going to be very interesting. And, in fact, it is a much different kind of, adventure. Our task isn't to save the world from the King of Shadows, or destroy a Demon King, or fight a bunch of gods, or anything like that. It's to basically prop up a merchant guild. Not guild, a merchant company, and bring them to success. Which, honestly, you don't really see anything like that in any RPGs nowadays, or ever really. It's always a quest of saving the world or local area. It's always some big epic adventure. This, it looks like its entire goal is a much smaller kind of idea. Rebuild the company. Become a grand merchant. There's probably going to be some saving as well, and we're going to be doing minor adventurer work, but this I like. It is very different. Very different. And I like it. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. We're actually becoming actual adventurers. Not the adventurers that are saving the world, just the adventurers for hire. Compared to how we normally do things, yeah, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. Next episode, we'll take a look through the entirety of Crossroad Keep itself. I'm sure there's plenty of information we'll have to learn. Maybe some good loot to buy too. We have like 60k. That's something. And we'll probably start. We'll find places to start the trading posts. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Cheswick44. That is Alice Starshield, Juliana Bronsberry, Mr. Magellan, Alan Strata, who is going to really enjoy himself here, Umoji, and I keep forgetting your name.
Track my wake now.
Last Tree Cassere. This has been a Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2, Storm of Zehir, and I shall see you all next time.